Bonjour and welcome into the cave. Do you know that feeling of discovering a great band, wanting to learn more about them, checking if you can catch them live, and then realizing they're actually not a band anymore? That's exactly what happened to me with my guest today. Luckily, they returned with new music in 2024 and released one of my favorite albums of 2025, Vom Tun and Lassen. They write intense, emotionally charged music, grounded in lyrics that are thoughtful, open-ended, and deeply reflective. I consider them Germany's post-hardcore sweethearts. Mathias of Heisskalt is here with me today. Hi, Mathias.
Hello, nice to have me.
Thank you for being here. Maybe people will not understand why I called you Germany's post-hardcore sweethearts, but it's because when I got to know you, I realized how much people from this scene, especially in Germany, just love your band so much.
Mhm.
And for example, I saw you live when you played with Black Hat Problems in Munich in 2024.
Yeah, okay.
And Black Hat Problems announced, like, we will have a support. Can you guess who it will be? And everyone commented Heisskalt.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was super excited. Everyone knew all of the songs as much as they knew Black Hat Problems songs, even though it was a Black Hat Problems show. So yeah, I just realized how much, at least the Germany post-hardcore alternative scene really loves you so much.
There are some people that know us for sure, and with the Blackout Problems, there's also a kind of a special connection because we're also on the label of Mario, of the singer of them. Yes, and I discovered at this specific concert because I always thought that our fan bases of the Blackout Problems and ours kind of are aligned pretty much, like the same people. But there were a lot of people that didn't know us and that came afterwards, came to the merch and said, yes, that was nice. I didn't know you. And I was kind of excited about that.
You announced your return at the end of 2024 and released the album Vom Tun und Lassen beginning of 2025. So how was 2025 for you?
I first want to say that this is, I think it's the first ever recorded English conversation of me. Since we're a German band, I normally talk in German. So, and I haven't talked English for quite some days and I haven't prepared. So this will be quite a ride, I guess. And how was 2025 for us? It was a lot. I'm like, now it's in the beginning of the year and at the end of the year, you kind of look back and check what have you done. And we've done so much. We were on tour. We played festivals and there was so much stuff that we did and every one of us did in between, and we have children and the album came out and yeah, it felt really like a very full and rich year full of good experiences.
Talking about experiences, you also participated in Encore M and Munich Koolhaus blinded compilation. The concept is bands of both of those labels record a song together, kind of. That's why it's called a blinded. So you released the song Realität with a Kochkraft durch Keima.
Yeah.
And so can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, I did a lot of features this year. Actually, it's also something I've not done so much in the past, and now it's, I think, 3 or 4 features this year. Mario approached us with this idea of doing a song together for this sampler. It was really, really, really great experience to write with those guys. I didn't know all of them before, but some of them, and it was in between different productions that we had and tours, and like they're also very busy. And then we just had 2 days, I think, at their studio, took an instrumental that they already had and wrote this song over it. And it was just a big kind of, sometimes you have this experience of just one big flow. And that was the case. And we also had some pretty hard arguments about the song, and that went also really well. So it was a very nice thing. And I really liked the song. And we will continue to work together now. I'm really happy about that. So it was not only a blind date, but now we keep dating.
And that's nice. And yeah, in the end result is very nice too.
Yeah, and I think it's a nice idea to put people together that are kind of related through, in this case, the link of being on the same label or something and put them together in a room and let them be creative together. I also produced the track of Nikra and Remote Bondage, so I could also like look from another perspective on this whole project. It was
With the
complete
others.
Madness. 12 people in a small room.
Now we will dig into your latest album with the song Mit Worten und Granaten, with the first line that you chose. So I will first say the line in German with my best accent, and then I will translate it the best I can in English. So werde deine ganze Größe, trau dich deine ganze Kraft. Die Idee von Gut und Böse hat uns genau hierher gebracht. With the translation, become your full magnitude, dare to use all your strength. The idea of good and evil is exactly what brought us here. So why did you choose this line?
I found the exercise very hard to choose lines because I noticed that first of all, I haven't listened to so much music with lyrics in the last year or 2 years. So I had to dig a bit. And then I noticed that sometimes there are like these simple or single lines, but most of all, for me, it's often kind of more of a world of words in which someone moves around. So it was hard for me to pick. But I think this line it's the climax of the song, the end of the whole song. And it was very intense to scream it on stage during the last tours. And it's always a song that they come and tell me afterwards how intense it was. And I have the feeling that I kind of put together something in this song. If I had to summarize a lot of our songs into one song or a few words in one song, that might be it. I think to provoke positive change, I discovered for myself that it's important that I allow myself to be big and to not to make myself small and act out of some sort of desperateness, or I need that from you, or I need that from the world, or the world owes me that, or this is wrong and this is right, and they are wrong and they are right, and they are bad and they are good. And that usually doesn't work out very good for me. But to do that or to not do that, I need to kind of allow myself to maybe be a bit bigger than I feel comfortable with at the moment. Yeah. And I think that could lead to some positive change if we would try to do that more often instead of just blindly judging and hating and killing each other.
So when you say making yourself bigger, do you talk about showing yourself as more confident?
Allowing myself to actually be more confident. I don't talk about like showing off, or maybe it's part of it.
Yeah, but it's just knowing your own value. And
yeah, exactly. And not holding back so much. Like, I think if I hold back a lot, everything that I hold back that you do might make me angry.
Yeah.
And if I don't hold back, and that doesn't mean to walk over people or to just do whatever the fuck you want. I mean, it's always about the balance. But yeah, I found that very profound for myself. But maybe someone else would say, what the fuck, I need to hold back more because I'm just doing whatever I want and I create so much chaos. So yeah, it's always very personal.
No, but I think you're right, because I think the people who judge other people the most and who blame others for what is happening are the people who don't have enough confidence in themselves, and they can make up for it as cockiness, which are two different things, but just knowing your worth, knowing what you can do.
Yeah, I do it for sure. Like I'm judging people for all the things that I think I am not allowed to do, or that I think I can't do, or that I don't see me doing and that I don't like about myself. Like I do it constantly. All the time, every day. I judge. If I have a bad mood, I judge the others for their good moods. And if they are like outgoing and they are they're daring to do stuff that I'm not daring. I judge them and I think, oh, it's bad. And so I can really, it's not, I don't talk about other people there. I talk really about myself. It's something that I'm trying to notice and to change, but it's not easy. It's definitely not easy.
This line is at the end of the song, and I think it really embodies the whole topic of the song.
Kind of, yeah.
And this song is one of the angriest songs of the album too. Did you write it after a specific event or after an accumulation of events?
I was so angry about the war in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when I was looking into that a bit more. I wrote a lot of the lyrics at that point, but my lyrics also kind of they develop over time, so it's a mixture of different events and things that I've noticed, because it's also about time and how the time is sitting on my shoulder and it's dying, and I would say it's a kind of a desperate song. It's a song with a lot of different emotions. There's also some cynicism and some sadness and some peace and some being moved in the heart by the pure existence of just, what the fuck, I'm here, this is great, and this is a lot. So yeah, there's all the emotions in this song.
And is it also about realizing that if you make yourself full, if you make yourself big, you can actually make a difference when sometimes you think you're alone in this and there's nothing you can do?
At least it's something that I say to myself in this song, because sometimes it's the only thing that keeps the last motivation. Like if everything breaks and I like if I observe war that does that with me, that I think, what the fuck, what's all of this about? This is so disgusting and so wrong. And sometimes then I have to trick myself into still feeling okay about myself. And I think, that's what I'm saying to myself then, that I like, to make a difference, I need to start with myself. Because then I'm so much outside in the world and with all this cruelty, and then I come back to myself and say, okay, how can I be a better person or a more loving person? And that usually kind of takes me back a bit.
Yeah, and it's hard in those contexts to not feel also a lot of hate and to not let the hate take over. Is allowing yourself to be fully yourself something you really needed to work on? Is it still a work in progress?
I don't know. Yes, I would say it's a work in progress. It's also dependent on situations and people and moods and days. But I don't think that we are being taught by society, if you wanted to put that way, to just be ourselves. And I have not learned tools to communicate in a good way in school or whatever. You're just thrown into into the schools, and they just teach you stuff, but they don't actually teach you how to behave with each other and how to show yourself and how to present yourself in a way that's healthy. At least they didn't when I was in school. So it's something that I had to learn for myself and I had to discover for myself. And also I'm a person that is on stage. If I'm on stage, people see me, and I kind of reflected a lot during the last years. What do people actually see? And what do I show, and why do I show it, and how do I show it, and what do I hide, and why do I hide it? Like it's a interesting topic to think about. Is
the person you are on stage different from who you are off stage?
I don't know if it's different. Maybe different in a way that I would be with this person or in this situation, in this situation. But I wouldn't say that I'm fundamentally different. No, it's also not my goal to be kind of a different performing person there. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just that sometimes, for example, we were talking about it with Mario, who on stage is really jumping everywhere, screaming around, running around, and in real life his way is more not composed, but just more quiet, more calm.
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge for me to stand in front of a big crowd. And it's not a challenge to play songs, not at all, but to talk to them. It's crazy because I don't want to prepare like a speech and then just say it every night. I think it feels wrong for me.
Yeah.
It's just my personal taste. So I kind of need to be able to speak freely in front of people and say what I think is the right thing to say. And then there's also some responsibility to hold the space and to look out for people and to make sure that they're all behaving in a kind of safer space manner and not beating each other up or doing stupid things. And so it's a lot that's going on. And then I still have to sing the songs and I want to also feel something while I sing them. And then people are talking in my head through the in-ears and wanting things and stuff breaks. And so it's a lot, but I'm actively trying to lead through the night in a good way. If I don't do that, I tend to kind of just look at some point in the distance and play the songs and be there for myself. And I don't think that's a good thing to do with a big crowd. I need to accept that I'm kind of the point where they focus their attention. If I like it or not like it, they still do it. So I need to give them something in a way that feels good for myself also.
And this is your time for you to make yourself big.
Maybe, yeah.
With Heisskalt, there is a lot of duality as a recurring thread. First of all, just the name of the band, Heisskalt, which means hot, cold for people who don't speak German. Then you talk about good and evil in the song. You're opposing Barton, so words and granate and grenades. And I think this is also very representative of the world today that is very polarizing on one end or the other of the spectrum. Is that made on purpose? All of this duality, is it a topic that you find interesting or?
No, it's something that happens. I haven't analyzed it so much, but I have heard it before and I notice it and I like it because I think what I often do is not either or, but more of a, Worten und Granaten, and to put those opposites into one circle, so to say. Also with the band name. No, it's not very conscious. I write very unconsciously. I just write and the words come and I pick them and then I write them down and then I change them around and flip them and play with them until there's something that if I sing it feels good in my mouth and if I hear it sung feels good in my brain. And then I leave it that way.
Talking about the way you write, we're going to talk about the second line that you chose, which is maybe one of your inspiration. And this is actually one of the most, I don't know if obscure is the right word, but reference that I got on this podcast, because when I checked them, they now have 80 monthly listeners on Spotify, but they're not a band anymore. And so you chose a line from Koolhaus with their song Propaganda of Dance. And the line is dance, dance, like we could still change the world. So why did you choose this line?
It was actually a similar experience for me than the one you had with our band. I discovered them when I was still in school, I think maybe 2008 or 9, maybe it was shortly after school. I found them so great. Like I listened to this album and it opened up a whole new world of sound for me. At that point, I had no idea about how to make music, like how to record music or to make sound at all. It was all kind of just sounds. And they had these cleanish guitars and those drums that were like, they sounded so real and so roomy, and then the singer that sung with this weird German accent, and it was so emotional. The music was so emotional. It was like I don't know if you know the band Escapado. They are also doing like it's kind of out of this world of sound, but without the heavy, big and angry and guitars, but just with this cleanish thing. And this line and this band, they just stuck with me. And then I noticed, okay, they don't even exist anymore. And then I read the last posting, or I think it was on their website even, like in a kind of a guest book kind of thing. It was way before I think Facebook existed already, but MySpace times.
Okay.
And they wrote that also not before a show, but they said, we're not continuing because we noticed that we can't speak as one voice anymore. So this was our last concert. Goodbye. And I found that very strong, like a very, very strong thing to do, to say, okay, we're not at unity anymore here with what we want to say. So we don't say nothing at all anymore. And at that point, that impressed me a lot. And I also just like the sentence, like Dance Dance, if we could still change the world, because the question is, can we? And what does that mean? Like, it's about hope. Yeah. And I got a tattoo of this song. And so I think that's a nice line to pick. And also there's the song Tanz Tanz on our album Vom Wissen und Wollen, where I basically kind of did my own version of the whole track.
I guess it can be taken figuratively and like really as it is. Yeah, to still be joyful and to still move and to still do things, even though sometimes it feels like
and to
you cannot
dance.
really.
Yeah.
To dance.
To dance. Don't forget to dance. And I maybe the singer, if he would hear me talking about the lyrics, he would think, what's wrong with this guy here? Is not what I meant. Because there's also a very long spoken word part in the song that I would interpret as something like this very special moments of connection that you sometimes have in places that you didn't think you would have, like such a deep conversation suddenly, and you're kind of baffled by having this connection. And so I think I could feel a lot of what he's singing, and I find it incredible, because what they did back then, I don't even know when this album came out, but I think 2000 or something. And what they did back then is now so fucking en vogue again, with all the Midwest emo post-hardcore scene-ish kind of stuff, like La Dispute, for example. I think if the timelines would have been a bit different, they could go on Europe tour together.
Yeah, maybe.
So they were way ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's true. So I didn't know them, so it was my first time listening to them. And if you had told me that this song was released this year, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I also don't know what they meant, but I can see that dancing can also be something political. Is that how you see it too?
I'm pretty sure that they are a very political band. A very left punk political band. And yeah, I think that dancing always has been something that people did to express themselves, also in moments where their expression maybe wasn't that wanted or valued or even forbidden. And I think it's just it's a nice thing to do. That, I mean, we can make music and we can listen to music and we can move to it together and create kind of sort of a momentum and some sort of unity in the sound together. And I really think that this is transformative, yes, and that it can be used political. I recently was looking into capoeira because my daughter wanted to learn capoeira, and then I learned that capoeira was also a kind of a way to pretend to dance, but actually to learn to fight. I'm thinking about voguing. I'm thinking about contact improvisation, which was some sort of anti-movement against the modern very hard-working modern dance ethics and all what came with the hierarchies and so on. And so I can immediately think of a few examples how dancing can be used to change the world.
Yeah, definitely. And that can be some things that are in the beginning very underground. Like you mentioned voguing, which was before in only very closed bars in the communities, and now it's getting more and more, I wouldn't say mainstream, but we see more and more of it. And yeah, as you said, it's also creating a unity, which we actually also need if we want to change the world, because you can make yourself bigger, but if you're alone in this, in the end, you need the unity.
Yes, and I think it's also like you can have some sort of identity through it. I mean, I'm by no means a good dancer. I mean, I can shake weirdly around and listen to music that I like, and so I absolutely have no skills. I did a bit of contact improvisation for a few years, and I can roll over each other, and that's it. But still, I can notice how it's a freeing experience to dance in certain groups of people and to kind of dance yourself, like get free in the dancing, become free with each other and with yourself. And I mean, that's such a great experience, and maybe takes us back to the like allowing, if I'm allowing myself to be, and if I'm allowing this ecstasy, like not in a drug sense, but maybe that changes something around me.
Also, it's a bit similar to what we experience when you're in a crowd at a show, because we're also dancing in our own way.
Yeah, I mean, moshing and mosh pits, I think it's a very, very specific cultural practice to do to hard music and to kind of canalize this emotion of anger and joy together in one explosion, and kind of together. I don't like we beat each other up until we bleed, but like this constant jumping around and pushing each other and falling and tumbling, and I think that's so freeing to do. I love it.
But I think scientifically it has something to do, like you're actually releasing, I don't know what,
everything,
dopamine or everything, all of your feelings.
Adrenaline, oxytocin, I think a lot of hormones.
Yeah.
Big cocktail. I forgot the name of the book and the name of the author. That's so sad. But during the time when I did more of this contact improvisation, I discovered that for many people, it's kind of a mindset to dance. Like she calls it the small dance. That's what she called it in the book, that you kind of, wherever you are in every situation, you can have a small dance with yourself. And that can be while preparing coffee or while waiting. That doesn't mean like to do a big movement or to do a hard movement that it's hard to learn or whatever, but just to get in the mindset of dancing with the things, and like it's a specific kind of touch, and I really liked it. This changed my perspective a lot on music in general, and also the way I interact with instruments. And I don't remember it that often, but if I do, it's great. I like the philosophy behind it, that to dance and to have this effect of freeing yourself from this, I do this and then I do that and then I finish this and then I do this and then I call and then I say I want this, and like this right left. You just need a moment to remind yourself that you can also dance. You don't even need music. Like also contact is often done without music. So you just need a body or one part of a body you can maybe move. You can also just dance with your finger. But it's about this mindset of how would this situation be if I would be dancing with what I have to do right now. And I mean, that's easier if you're not sitting in front of a computer. But maybe even sometimes I'm noticing that when I'm typing long emails, I'm not dancing, but I'm like I'm playing rhythmic patterns on my keyboard or something.
So it's also a way of seeing things in a lighter way than they are, and just having a flow with it.
Yeah, maybe
instead of
playful.
Yeah,
like children do.
and we did more of that. Because if we're just focusing on the bad in this world, it's...
Yeah, it makes you crazy. Like, I get crazy.
The question I'm going to ask you now can be seen as very simple or very hard, depending on how you see it. So in the song, they're talking about changing the world. And if you could change something in the world, what would you be? It feels like a Miss America, Miss World question, but...
I don't know how to change it, but to have, like, to give the power. You could ask, does there need to be a system of power and people rule each other? I don't know. Like, let's not go there. But to give the power to people that are actually capable of making decisions that are in the good for the world and for the people that live in it, and that create more social justice and that create more peace and not more violence, and to take away power from those that are just acting out of pure greed after power or money or whatever it is, or just pure sadism and narcissistic need to, I don't know, create chaos and havoc. I think I would change that. That would be great. And I think it's very stupid of us as a whole that we have created a system that in a lot of places in the world doesn't work that way. And I find it very, very interesting that we kind of landed there, that someone that has so much money, like a billionaire, has so much power without qualifying for anything. Yeah, I think that would be my change at the moment. That would be really great.
Yeah, this is a tough one because I don't know much about politics, really, how it works and everything, but I guess this is why they implemented democracy. But in the end, people who want to be at the top of the democracy don't necessarily do it for the right reasons. I can see it in France that sometimes we vote for something and it doesn't even get considered. When what is the point of us voting then? Yes.
It's a very deep and difficult topic. I think I also don't know enough to really talk in detail about it. But I mean, that happens. And also, I would say maybe sometimes also the people are not, they haven't learned enough about how the society works. They're not educated enough and they're not presented enough facts and knowledge to actually make a good decision. So you have like scared people that are underinformed voting for crazy people that are trying to destroy democracy. What a mess. And yeah, that's something that I would hereby magically shift. It's something we need to do, I guess, all of us together.
Yeah, it's the thing about education and all the information that you receive, because you kind of, and I'm talking also for myself, you believe more something that you agree with than something that you don't. And so there is all this fact check. And of course, if this goes your way, for you, it will be your reality. And it's such a difficult topic.
So you mean that we're all biased all the time to find true what is more comfortable to be true?
I'm not sure if in those cases there is an absolute truth.
Mm-hmm.
And my truth would be that human rights are respected. Mm-hmm. And for some people, and even for that, human rights can be two different things, mm-hmm. or they can see it differently. So yes, they are biased everywhere. Sometimes I am judging people because for me, this is absolutely not the way to go, but I am 100% sure that I am not right about everything on other topics, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, I understand this. Yeah, that's such a, I mean, it's not also not easy to lead big groups of people. I mean, that would also be wrong to say why you're all so stupid. It's so easy, could be so easy. But on the other hand, some things seem so They seem so obviously stupid and lobby driven.
But for example, what is happening in the US, I'm wondering why there is not a higher authorities who has something to say.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy.
In the end, even if there would be, I guess there is, but even if there would be, maybe they will also be corrupted, and you never know, it's endless.
It's endless, yes. Yeah, I wrote this book. Did I say that I wrote it? I read it.
Yes.
It's from Yuval Noah Harari, Eine kurze Geschichte der Menschheit. And I was just thinking about when you said human rights, because he calls out in this book that even human rights, they don't exist. They are just something that we agreed on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they just exist as long as we do them. That's a very, very great book. And that kind of opened my head a bit.
Do you also use that book for when you're writing songs?
I think that the song Teilchen, I can make a direct connection between this book and the song, but that's about it.
Well, Mathias, we could go on and on this topic for hours, I feel like, but I think we said mostly what we wanted to say. And so now, first of all, thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you for having me.
You have a tour that is starting in the end of March until mid of May, starting with Mainz, but I think this one is sold out. Also going through Zurich, Graz, Linz, Wien, Regensburg, Kassel, Chemnitz. How do you pronounce
Chemnitz,
it?
actually.
Chemnitz.
But you can also say Chemnitz.
Chemnitz, Magdeburg, and Kiel. So with this tour, what's next for Heisskalt?
Yeah, this tour started out as the idea to play some shows in Switzerland and Austria, and then we just added some shows in Germany because people asked for it. And we wanted to play smaller clubs because we had some pretty big shows now, and we just want to keep things interesting. So we're having small club shows like back in the day with bad sound and sweaty people and smoke. And all the things that the people like. This week is the birthday also of Vom Tun und Lassen, so it's 1 year now that it's out. And it was a very long process to write it, starting with songs that we first wrote in 2018.
Okay.
I think, or 19 or 20, something like this. 20. So 6 years, you could say we were working with breaks for 6 years on this last record. So at the same time, I feel like it has to be worshipped a bit more. So it's good that we go on another tour with it.
Remember when you started releasing the first few songs, I think you started with... So I remember there was Vampire, and also mit Worten
Wasser, Luft und Licht.
And the album was not out yet. It was not 2025 yet. And I remember saying, this is going to be my album of the year of 2025.
And was it?
And it was one of the album of the years, yeah. But this year we had some solid records, but still this one is one of my favorite.
What's the other ones?
Well, La Dispute released a new record, so...
It's so great. It's incredible. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I think this would be my top one.
Yeah, I have it open on Bandcamp in the background. We saw them on the how's the Deichbrand Festival. They played a show in the tent, like all pop and indie and rap bands making big celebrations outside, great shows, and then we came into this tent, dark, and just a crowd of like 250 people in front of this huge stage, and they played this show for a good hour or so, and no movement at all in the light. The light was just static theater lightning, and so dynamic and so intense and so emotional. It was one of my greatest concert experiences of the last years. Yeah,
La Dispute show is quite an experience. But a Heisskalt show is also a very good experience, so go see them on tour if they go near where you live.
do that. It's very different though from a La Dispute show, I think.
Thank you very much, Mathias. I really enjoyed it. And for everyone listening, so go listen to Heisskalt wherever you listen to music. Go see them on tour if you can. You can follow me on Instagram at Into the Cave Pod. You can like, follow, subscribe, anything that helps. I will talk to you again next week with a new guest. And meanwhile, be kind to yourself. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.